Yes, people, big up. Welcome back to the channel. 12th man is back. We have got Arsenal talk because we need to talk football. We need to talk Arsenal. We need to talk transfers. It is the 22nd of January and we've done nothing. The tumbleweed continues to roll forward as far as Arsenal Football Club are concerned. What are the owners and the board doing at this football club? We can only look at Mikel Arteta with things on the pitch as far as I'm concerned. What is going on right now is definitely more so on the board and owners, although it does include Mikel Arteta, who I think, from what we hear, wants players. But are we going to get them? That's what we're going to discuss today. We're going to talk a little bit about the rumours, the links, and some of the transfer news in general. We're going to go through that. We're also going to look towards tonight's game, which will be Dynamo Zagreb in the Champions League. And people have been saying for quite a while now that we just need to win this game and we'll be all right. No, we need to win both of them. If you look at that league table, the goal difference is mad. There's nothing between 24th place and 8th. We really do need to win these next two games against Zagreb and Girona. But this time next week, we'll find out what's happening. So listen, that's the way I am going to stand by it in terms of what we need to do. Big up to everybody in the chat. We got Akis, we got I Take All W's. Big up to you, Darius, Bino, Tammy, Vicola. We got Carol in the house, Mum's in the house, Manish. Who else have we got? Niffin, good to see you, bro. Hope you're well. Dave. First, we got Wayne in the house. We have got Rumble, Hendon Guna, T Rain. Big up to you. I Am King, Richie, Robert. And we got a super sticker as well from Cooper. Thank you very much, my bro. I really appreciate that. Really do appreciate that as well. So big up to everyone that's in the house and all of you that are watching live and, of course, that are watching on catch-up and that are live but aren't in the chat room. I really do appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you so much. Please hit the like button and please make sure you hit subscribe. If you didn't check out last night's show, please make sure that you did. It was a long one, but you know what? It was a very heated and ranted one, as it always is on the Arsenal Roundabout. So please make sure you go and catch up with that one. We definitely do recommend that last night. A few people very unhappy is all I will say. Please make sure you show love to the sponsors of the channel, Reality Raffles. There's an unbelievable chance again this week to win football match day experience of up to £500. There's instant wins on that as well. And we've also got website credits also. Please make sure for just 99p using the code FTM10 to get 10% off that you're involved in that, people. If you are lucky enough to get to a game and you do want to meet us at the Emirates, please let us know what game you're going to because it will be your choice if it is the Emirates you choose to go for and we can meet up. So please make sure that you do that. Link is in the description. All you've got to do is click on it and it will take you straight to this opportunity. So please make sure that you do go and check out Reality Raffles and that you're following them on Instagram and social media because they do so much every day. You really need to be aware of what they're up to. So Reality Raffles is where you need to be. Please make sure if you haven't done so already, you haven't got long left to get your tickets for This Is London Live, which will be at the Hippodrome Casino. Scan the QR code in the top left here. Or if you do click on the link pinned in the comment section, which is able to do now, it will take you straight through to the Eventbrite link where you can get your tickets. I'd love to see you rock up at the Hippodrome on Friday. That is the panel. D, Lawless, me, Judges, Deji, and Don are all going to be there. We've got a panel debate show for you. There's an opportunity for you to win some prizes, a Q&A session, and a meet and greet. So it'd be great to see you guys all there. Big up to every single one of you that got the tickets so far. Really appreciate it. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody that's one of the, not just Arsenal fans, one of the London clubs. If you do support them, please come and show us some love. It would be great to meet you there. Okay, that's enough of the intros. Now let's talk about the transfer window. The transfer window is dead. The transfer window, nothing is happening. The transfer window is so quiet that Arsenal don't even realise it's open. That's how quiet it is. Yeah. There's been a lot of people suggesting to me that it's too hard to get some January transfer signings. BS is what I would say to that. Manchester City have signed Vitor Hayes. Manchester City have signed Huzanov. Manchester City have signed Mormouche. And it looks like they're going to be looking at Cambiasso and Douglas Luiz as well. So they're going to get between 3 to 5 signings over the line in January. Arsenal are yet to even sign one. Manchester United, Liverpool, and Tottenham and Chelsea, they're not doing much. I do not care. I don't care if they do nothing. I don't care if they get 5 or 10. For me, it absolutely has to be a busy one for Arsenal. Just to answer questions to Hendon Guna, do you know which part of the Hippodrome the event is being held? All you need to do is go to the Hippodrome and say that we're here for the Football's 12th Man event, and they'll direct you. It will be in the Lotus Bar. So make sure that you just ask for us and they will direct you. The guy on the door will know where we're going. So it'd be great to see you guys there. It really would. Yeah, please come along, and it'd be great to meet. Do you know what? It's always nice to meet the community face to face. All I get is your names. That's it. And I get a lot of people come up to the Emirates and they're like, "Oh, you don't recognize me." Funny enough, no, I don't, because I only see your name on YouTube. You see my face. You've got an advantage. I don't see any of your faces. So big up to all of you, man. It'd be great to for you to come and see us. So hopefully we'll see you on Friday at the Hippodrome and we can meet each other. So big up to you. Big up to you, Hendon Good. It'll be great to see you as well, mate. I know you've been a big a fan of us for a long time on this channel and on the Arsenal content world as well. So big up to you, mate. Arsenal and transfers don't really go together like eggs and bacon. They ain't compatible for me. I hate talking about transfer windows, and it's mad saying that because this is what I do now for a full-time living, and I seem to be talking about it a lot. And I actually can't wait for the damn windows to shut because it's so stressful. All your hopes get up. It's frustrating. You start getting linked with players here, there, and everywhere. No one knows if they're actually reliable. No one knows if there's any link of any kind of excitement to get justifiably excited about, I suppose, is what we're looking at. I have to say this. I only really look at Fabrizio Romano, here we go, David Ornstein bombs, which are he signed, not we're in talks with. We're admirers of. I hate that. We're interested in. Arsenal are huge admirers of. I can't understand. Like, are we going to sign this guy or not? And that's what happens quite a lot at the Arsenal. We're admirers of players. We've been admirers in the past of Benzema, Higuain, Julian Draxler, Yanam Villa, Salaman Kalou. We've been admirers of N'Golo Kante, admirers of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Yaya Toure, Messi and Ronaldo. We've been admirers of all these players. But how many of them have signed? How many of them have signed? Well, none of those did. Yeah. We could have signed Suarez. We could have signed Drogba. We could have signed X, Y, and Z. We didn't. Who cares? Couldn't give a damn. So obsessed with is another one. Arsenal are obsessed with, and you think, obsessed with who? And does it matter if we are? Because there's a lot of things that I've been obsessed with in life, and then not many of them have come to fruition, to be honest with you. So when you're obsessed with something, it actually doesn't mean much. So we get all these words to get us all excited, but let's just be real. There's a lot of this Arsenal fan base that don't accept that anything's going to happen, or have accepted that nothing's going to happen in this transfer window. None of them think we're going to do anything. And when we do something, what I don't want it to be is, I didn't think we were going to do anything. And look, we've signed him. Well, does it make us any better? Is it taking us across the line? Is it a next level signing? Because I don't see that happening in January. The players that we are linked with, we are told that are all potential summer transfer signings. I think it's clear the three players he wants. He wants Sesko, he wants Zubimendi, and he wants Nico Williams. Now, I know for a fact, after speaking to someone very, very close to the club, on what game was it? What game was it? Spurs, it was. Spurs. At the Spurs game before, he's obsessed with Nico Williams. Out of the three, he's obsessed with Nico Williams. We understand he's been following Zubimendi's progress for the last couple of seasons, and there was links a couple of seasons to us. We understand that Sesko's the striker that he's looking at to be bringing in next. But Nico Williams is the one that he's obsessed with, that he's got a whole plan with, that he's tried to present to his representatives on PowerPoint presentations about how he fits in, a bit like he did with Declan Rice, yeah? And the other guy that apparently he's obsessed with is Isak. So they're the guys that he wants. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to get all of them, by the way, yeah? It doesn't mean we're going to get all of them. It just means that they're the ones that we're looking at getting. But right now, the two players being linked are Sesko and Cunha. Now, Sesko and Cunha are two potentials that could be available this January. We got to get both. Can't get one of them. We got to get both. We need a winger and a striker this January. Why? Well, because injuries have affected us, but we already needed that on top of the players that were when they were fit. So when people say to me, "Oh, do you think we need?" I think we need both. Really? Yeah, of course we do. At the moment, we've got Havertz as our only striker. We've got Sterling as our only right-sided player. And we've got Martinelli and Trossard that are playing here, there, and everywhere because of those injuries. If I said to you now, we've got a striker plus Havertz, we've got a winger plus Trossard and Martinelli, and we've still got Sterling and Waneri on top of that, with Odegaard in the top 10, in the attacking 10, you'd say that was a hell of a lot stronger, right? So why are we sitting here believing that maybe only one player would be enough? No, we need more than that. And last night we did it on the Roundabout show. There's quite a lot of people saying we need a left winger and a left striker and a striker, and we're kind of done. I had a lot more positions to that, I'm afraid. A lot more. And I hate to say this because we've signed 31 players, but I still feel we need 8 players. And I know we're not going to get that in one window, by the way, but that's going to potentially take us at least 2 windows, maybe even 3. Now, some of that is squad players boosting players that are left, replacing players that are going to leave. But in terms of this first 11, we need to work out who our left back is and if we need another one. We need to work out who our left 8 is and if we need another one. We need to get a left winger that he wants to play and trusts. And we need a striker. So that's 4 players for the first 11. I would say we need 4 more that are going to cover. Because we definitely need another right-sided attacker because Saka's the only guy we've got on top of that. So that's 5 players. We definitely need another centre-half because it looks like Kivior's going to go. Some would say we need 2 because we don't have anything on the right-hand side. And we're probably going to need another fullback because most of them are leaving. Zinchenko, Tierney, Kivior, Tomiyasu, potentially no future at the club. So I look there and I think, when I said 8, people must be like, nah, we don't need that much, Dan. And then you count it up and you realise, yeah, do you know what? Actually, we do. We actually do need that many still. And that's not me saying it's been a disgrace and all this and go losing my head. But I look at the 31 signings. There is only about 8 or 9 tops that I look at and go, cool, yeah, great signings. And those 8 or 9, Raya, Gabriel, and this is in the Arteta reign, by the way. I don't count Saliba and Saka and Martinelli and Tierney, the guys that are before Arteta. So Raya, Gabriel, Ben White, Timber. I will say Rice, Odegaard. That's 7. Partey, that's 7. Yeah. Trossard. I'll give Trossard a go because he's come in and done well. That's 8. Is there anyone else I've missed? Nah. I don't think there is, I don't think any of the fullbacks have come and settled. I don't think any of the strikers have come and settled. I don't think any of the attacking options that we tried have come in and settled. Midfield, left 8, still trying to find one. Yeah. It's not good. It's not good. So we're looking, and some of those were a push, by the way, because Partey and Trossard are not wanted by some fans in the long-term future. Doesn't mean they've been bad signings for Arsenal. So has the recruitment been fantastic? I'm not so sure that it has, man. I'm not so sure that it has. So that's where I'm at with it. I've got to be real. Where are we going to start today? First of all, we're going to say, please hit the like button because not enough of you have. We've got 128 likes and there's nearly 800 of you in here. So please do me a favor. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. 2 buttons. All you've got to do as well is click on the pinned comment section. It will take you to the Hippodrome link. Get your tickets and I'll see you on Friday. Hopefully get to meet a lot of you in person. So if you haven't done that, please make sure you do that as well. Okay, let's start first of all with Cunha, shall we? I don't know how truthful this is. I really don't. I would like to think that with the amount of sources that are coming out, that this one is fairly reliable about him potentially not being settled at Wolves and leaving. But I don't know how reliable it is that he's going to come to Arsenal. So let's just have a look at what's being spoken about at the moment, right? According to Sky Carver, and Carver and Darmesh are the 2 that do the transfer daily on Sky Sports, Arsenal are one of 5 Premier League clubs that are interested in signing Cunha. It's for an offer of around 60 million could be enough to tempt Wolves to sell the player. Cunha's been offered a new contract, which he's unlikely to sign at the moment. Now, there was a lot of suggestion that although Wolves had agreed personal terms on a new contract, he stormed off in the 3-1 loss against Chelsea on Monday night and got the right raving hump. And both him and Mario Lemina have been told that their futures are in doubt because Mario Lemina's potentially off to Saudi Arabia. He's been stripped of the captaincy from what we understand. And it looks like Cunha's got the hump as well. Now, it doesn't mean he's leaving for Arsenal. It does mean there's potential that he could actually leave in January. Now, I think Wolves will want to keep him because they're in a bit of a relegation scrap down the bottom, aren't they? So they ain't going to be looking at Cunha going, yeah, let's clear off this guy because he's no good. He's been a problem for us and we need to get rid. However, what they could do is they could accept the player doesn't want to stay and he's unhappy. Now, first of all, I think there was rumours that he wanted to leave, but he was happy to stay and potentially look at his future and options in the summer. But it looks now that there's been some developments and that he could actually reject the new contract at Wolves and go elsewhere. Now, there are 5 Premier League teams. The only 2 that I know are interested are Arsenal and Nottingham Forest. I don't know who the others are. I imagine Chelsea because they're always interested. I imagine you probably wouldn't rule out Manchester City, although they have just signed Marmoush, but they don't really have any cover still for Haaland. But I don't know who the others are. I'd be guessing if I said I knew. I wouldn't have thought it would, I mean, Tottenham maybe, but I wouldn't have thought it would be Villa. I wouldn't have thought it would be Liverpool. I wouldn't have, they've all got players up top, you know, although I think Liverpool could do with a proper 9 that stays fit. Jota, when he is fit, is unreal. So I do think that the clubs that are going to be interested in Cunha are going to be towards the top 6. Newcastle could be an option as well, right? So look, out of those clubs that want him, Arsenal are one of them, we believe. So go get him. If that's who you want, go get him. Now, DJ made a great point last night on the channel and said, do you know what? Yeah, Cunha sounds good. Don't want him as the main guy, though. I totally agree. I totally agree. I do not want Cunha as the main guy because it's not right. Cunha should not be the number 9 at Arsenal either, just like Havertz and Jesus shouldn't. The reason I'm okay with the signing is because I hope that that is not the only one we're going to be getting. Now, I might not mean this window, but there will be in the summer a forward coming again. So you'll have Cunha this window, potentially another one in the summer. Cunha can play left. Cunha can play attacking 8. Cunha can play 10. But as the 9, I'm not even sure he can actually play there for Wolves, really, because if you look at it, they play Larson up top and they've got Cunha in behind. So Cunha, again, is another false 9. He's not a proper striker and a proper number 9. So I don't know why people are saying, oh, Cunha's that guy. There we go. We finally got our number 9, because he won't be the number 9. He's coming in as one of the play across the front 3, in my honest, brutal opinion. So people that are getting excited about Cunha being this number 9 that Arsenal now can take across the line, no. He isn't going to be that number 9 that does what Havertz and Jesus can't. He's going to add to that, right? So look, I'm in a position right now where I'm okay with the Cunha signing, but he's not enough. He's not enough. And I think people in the chat will know that, right? Yeah, there's some excitement around it, but it's not enough still. So people that think that Cunha's a good signing, I'm with you. But he's only really a good signing if we bought somebody else. And DJ made a great point and said, look, if we were bringing in Cunha now to add to the summer transfer window, and that summer transfer window consisted of Victor Gyökeres and Nico Williams, I'd be adding Cunha thinking, yeah, this is brilliant because he can play in the 10, he can play wide right or left, and he can play up top. That's a really good signing to have as a versatile player. The problem is we've got versatile players and we need players that start. I need a number 9 that plays in the number 9. I need wingers that actually are wingers. I need defenders that can actually defend. I don't want a defender that can play here, there, and everywhere. Honestly, I don't believe there's any understanding of, are you versatile? Cool, come into Arsenal then. Well, what position do you want? Well, your mate do. I'll find the position somewhere for you. Like that's what I'm looking at. And I swear to God, man, big up to Charlie, by the way, because I agree with him. Imagine Forest get Cunha instead of Arsenal. Can you imagine? Can you imagine, right? And this is a negative thing to say, but I'm going to say it anyway, because the way we're moving at the moment, we deserve it. Can you imagine if Wolves offer Cunha a contract, Forest come in with a bid, and Arsenal come in with a bid, and he decides to either sign and stay at Wolves or go to Forest? That would be total embarrassment of the highest order. Total embarrassment of the highest order. Listen, people, there's over 1,000 of you in here. Please make sure you hit the like and subscribe. We haven't done that enough yet, man. We've only got 179. That's crazy. Hit the likes button. Come on, people. Let's get that up to 600 likes. Come on. Big up to everybody that's here. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm with you, Charlie. It would be absolutely crazy. Big up to my boy Hooks as well, man, who's raided. You're a top man. I really appreciate you, bruv. Make sure you go and subscribe to Halftime Hooks. He shows us some love. He's on the channels on Thursdays, and we show him some love as well. Big up to Hooks, man. Really appreciate that, bruv. Look, Cunha. Yes. Would I take him? Yes. Absolutely. He'd play on the left. He'd play on the attacking 8, potentially. He'd play in the 10. He would probably play in the 9 as well. And I think he'd do well. I think he'd be potentially an upgrade on what Martinelli and Trossard are offering right now, although I think they were much better against Aston Villa. I think in front of goal, I'd rather put my money on him than Havertz. I do think he's fairly wasteful as well, though. I won't say that he's clinical, as I don't think he is. And I look on the right-hand side, and yeah, I think he could play there as well because we're struggling. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Ash is saying that Sky Sports are now breaking that Forest are going to be putting in a record fee for Cunha. They've already put in bids for Visser as well. Forest are moving mad. Marinakis, everyone laughed at him when he bought 35 players in one window. The reason he did that was because he was ambitious to get a squad that's good enough to, 1, stay in the Premier League, which he did, to 2, push on the second year, which, to be fair, I think they would have done if they would have got in a manager that could have a little bit sooner, as much as I thought Cooper did a great job to get him up and keep him there. And 3, what they're doing now is they're like, do you know what? We've got ourselves in a position where we can actually get Champions League football. Do we stand still or do we add to this squad? Because Nottingham Forest have actually got some decent players to come off from the bench. People talk about squad depth. I look at them and I think, wow, they've got Taiwo Awoniyi to bring on. They've got James Ward-Prowse to bring on. They've got players in their squad that actually give 110%, like Ryan Yates. They've got Dominguez, who's quite a good little player. He's a nasty little player in there. They've got Jota. They've got Souza. At the back as well, they've got players. I look and I think, yeah, you've actually got yourself sorted. Nottingham Forest don't have 11 players. They probably have 15. And if they're going to add players like Visser and Cunha to it, I mean, I don't think Brentford would let Visser go, not for £22 million. But if they was to go and get Visser as well and add him to Chris Wood and add somebody like Cunha, we're talking about a serious club here that are trying to be up there with the big boys. And they've got an unbelievable opportunity, yeah? Unbelievable opportunity. So, look, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So we'll have to see where we go with Forest. Look, it's going to be a great opportunity to see what the other clubs are doing in this coming days, because a lot of people are saying, well, look at Arsenal, they're not doing anything, but no one else is doing anything either. Let's just be real, people. Yeah, let's just be real. There's an unbelievable opportunity to look at what everyone else is doing, but does anyone really care? Yeah, you'll get annoyed if Forest get players you want, or if Liverpool or PSG, when they got Kvaratskhelia, I was gutted because I thought that was an ample opportunity for us at 63 million to go and get him. They're talking about Cunha being 60 million. Why didn't we go and get Kvaratskhelia? I imagine that obviously they're looking at potentially PSG having an already agreed offer with him, but this guy was on 40k a week at Napoli. This guy was the reason they won the title a couple of years ago. I can't believe we didn't go all out for him, man. Thought that would have been an unbelievable opportunity for us. I really did. So, look, the Cunha deal, I would take it, but it isn't business done, and that's all I need. I need to see more than that. I really do. And I hope that we can get that because, look, Cunha coming in is great, but we need a striker as well. And it isn't just a kind of, oh, we've got him and now we can move on. Like, let's just be real. No, we need more than that. And there are reports and rumours suggesting that we might do more than that. If we have a crazy couple of days and a couple of windows, we might actually have more than that. So, look, we haven't got long left, but there are reports coming out. All we do is share information on it. I'll make this very clear. I am not an ITK. I'm not a journalist, and I wouldn't really want to be one, right? All I do is share the information that we see and that we look at. This has come from Sam C, who I believe is fairly close to either Sammy Mockbell or one of the other guys, top journalists, who's fairly reliable-ish from what people have told me. But again, you work that out yourself. Everyone's got different opinions on that. Mikel Arteta has already spoken to Benjamin Sesko about a potential move to Arsenal this month. He's one to watch. Now, look, there's no denying that Mikel Arteta wants this guy. There's no denying it. I think in the summer, he made it very, very clear. Leipzig had some form of agreement where they wanted to keep him for that summer until the following summer. And it looks that we missed out in the summer. Are we going to be able to get it to January? More likely in the summer. But now I think, truly, Mikel Arteta has spoken to Josh Kroenke and he has said, we need to get this pushed forward because we need players. Now, I don't think we'll get Cunha and Sesko. I'd be really happy if we did, by the way, because I think what that's doing is showing two places of the squad that we need to upgrade upon, and I think it would do that. I think it would. The way that Trossard, Martinelli and Havertz are moving, it's not taking much to upgrade on it. On paper, I wouldn't say Sesko is levels ahead of Havertz, and I wouldn't say Cunha is levels ahead of Trossard or Martinelli. But right now, in terms of what we're looking at doing, we've become stale with those three. We need to improve that. So if those two come in, I'd be really happy. The problem you've got is I don't think we've got 125 million, and that's what it's going to cost to get Cunha and Sesko this window. Now, there's reports suggesting that we've offered it, we're going to be offering a loan with an obligation to buy or an option to buy either. But Leipzig have said, no, if you want him this season, this window, you're going to have to pay up. So that's pretty clear, Arsenal, isn't it? Go pay up. What are you waiting for, man? If we want these players, you don't get them for free. You've got to go and look at, right, Sesko potentially in the summer. Summer's going to be around 60 million pounds. Let's see if we can put in 60 to 70 now and get him earlier. Why are we not doing that? If we want Cunha, well, he's got a potential to stay at Wolves. So it's going to take a hell of a lot of money to get him out of there. Wolves aren't going to want to get rid of him. So trust me, I'm not going to be in a position where you're looking at things like that and going, do you know what? I'd be more than happy, right? Real talk. I'd be more than happy to have a summer that's coming up that consisted of 2 players coming in as opposed to 4 if we did some business now in January. Because I'm realistic. I don't expect us to have 150 million every single window, summer and transfer window in the January one. Now, if we were ambitious enough as ownership, I think we should do that. But we're not going to be. We're just not. So we have to be realistic about what the owners are going to provide us funds-wise. If we're still self-sustaining in this stage, I think it's a shockingly bad ownership and board. But if the actual ownership are going to come up to Mikel and say, look, what is it you need? Well, we're in a position at the moment where we've got some injuries. I thought we'd had enough in the attack. We're fine everywhere else at the moment, but we've got serious problems in the front three. I'm going to need 2 players. I know that I wanted one in the summer, but I think we might need that in the summer push forward plus another player. I'm not talking 400 million, but I might need 100 million here to help. As owners, they should go, well, we're billionaires. We've sorted the Rams out, the Nuggets out. We've sorted the Rapids out. We've sorted all of our American ownerships out. Let's go and sort out the English ones, the Arsenal Football Club that we are supposedly ambitious enough to win trophies at. Let's give them 100 million because they've spent 200 million pounds, the Kroenkes, in 17 years of their own money. Everything else has been self-sustainable. Everything else has come through us fans. Everything else that we've earned has come from the sponsorships, the merch, the Champions League football, the TV rights. Everything that Arsenal brings in commercially is how we have spent money and how we have gone on a self-sustained model. And right now, self-sustained's done. Manchester City are being run properly. Why? Because look at them. They're in a position right now where they're thinking, oh, guys, it's been a great 4 years. But you know what? We've had a shocking 6 months. We can cry and feel sorry for ourselves, or we can do something about it. What are you going to do about it, Pep? Well, I'm going to ring up Sheikh Mansour. I'm going to ring up the board, and I'm going to tell them, you want me to save this season, you're going to need to bring in 4 or 5 players this window. No worries. Who do you want? There's these 2 young centre-halves that I rate. One of them's in Brazil, Vitor Reis. The other one over at France, Huzanov, Uzbekistan. They're both young. They can both come in and show some quality. We've got Cambiasso, who can play fullback in midfield. I think he'd be a versatile option for us. And we've got this brilliant winger over at Stuttgart called Omar Marmoush, who's been banging them in over in Germany. That's who I want. Okay, cool. Frankfurt, sorry, not Stuttgart. Go and do it. And then what's happened since? They're potentially getting Cambiasso and Douglas Luiz. They've already got Marmoush and they've got the 2 centre-halves. So that's potentially 4 or 5 signings they're bringing in. Serious club. Serious. I tell you what this now. If Man City ever complain about their owners or their board, they are clearly not watching the sport I'm watching because they have been run the best. And people will shout 115. They're going to get non-compliance fines. That's it. They're not going to get points deductions. They're not going to get massive fines. They're not going to be put down into League 2. Just accept it, yeah? If there's any gooners watching, accept it. If there's any rival fans watching that aren't City, accept it. Haaland doesn't sign 10-year deals if he's going to be playing in the Championship. Pep Guardiola doesn't stay if he believes they're going to be in trouble. Players don't sign new deals, and managers sign new deals if they're in shite. So trust me, they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. We got a new member. And I do love this name. Get that stinking fraud Arteta out my club. Not a fan then, bruv. Not a fan. Big up for the new membership. If anyone does want to become a member, click like, join, and like, subscribe, and then join, and then follow the instructions, and you can become a member, just like this gentleman has. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, my bro. I really do. Just a reminder as well that we are going to be live on Friday at the Hippodrome Casino. Scan the QR code or click on the link in the pinned comments or description, which will take you straight through to the short URL link to sign up to come and see us on Friday. So please make sure you're there, people. It would be great to see you. That's the panel. What an elite panel. We've got Don, Deji, lead judges, myself, Lawless, and of course D, that are all going to be there. There's a Q&A, there's a meet and greet, and there's prizes to be won. Come and have a good night with us Friday at the Hippodrome Casino. It'd be great to see you there. Tell everyone, it'd be a brilliant night out for you all to bring people with you. Great to meet you all in person. Big up to you. Okay, let's take a look elsewhere, shall we? Let's go through what has been other Arsenal transfer news. I've not seen all of this. Sometimes I like to do this together just with you, because then we can go through it and we get reactions from myself first hand as well. I did see this. This is funny. This did make me laugh. I've got to say, this did make me laugh. Arsenal squad before versus Arsenal squad after the transfer window. Japan redesigning their flag. Honestly, it's so funny. It's so funny. This one was quite funny as well. The interviewer asked Mikel Arteta if he's enjoying the transfer window, and his reply was, "I love it." Do you? Nothing's happened. I understand it happens. Links to players. I get a lot of people texting me or after him. Sometimes I don't even know what they're talking about. Look, he's trying to play down the fact that we need anybody. I love it. I'm happy with it. Blah, blah, blah. Do what you want. Rah, rah, rah. Honestly, I don't understand. This guy in the press conference really winds me up, to be fair to him. So that's on Mikel Arteta. In case you weren't aware, the transfer window opened 19 days ago, Arsenal. It's actually longer than that now. It's been 22 days. Troops is on here saying day 21 of the transfer window and still no moves made, Arsenal. What are you waiting for? Facts. Absolute facts. This one last night I broke. It's actually quite funny. This is actually quite funny as well, right? Barcelona are bracing themselves for a 100 million euros bid from Manchester City for Rafinha. And this is the funny bit. Arsenal have also shown interest, but won't be able to compete with City financially. So they basically said, "Oh, really, Rafinha? Yeah, we'll have some of that." And then real talk is like, "Oh yeah, we can't afford him." 100 million euros. So that's about 85 million pounds. And we're like, no. And I've said this, if we've got 85 million pounds combined, we need to go and release the clause of Victor Gyökeres, people. We need to. I don't see this one happening because I don't think Barcelona is going to sell him because he's been phenomenal this season. In fact, he's been one of the best players in Europe. Absolutely outstanding, Rafinha, right? But my goodness, come on. Absolutely crazy. What we're doing with likes, people. How many likes have we got? We're over 300. Let's get that up to 600 people. There's 1.3k in here. Hit the like and subscribe, please. We're nearly at, well, we're nearly at. We are next target at 40k. 40k. Crazy. Please make sure you hit subscribe and you hit like, please, 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 because it really is important. And then, you know what? I never used to beg for likes and subscribes, but I've been told by so many people, why don't you ask people to like and subscribe? It's really important. And then I looked into it more and looked at the analytics and analytics, should I say? What a hard word to say. Analytics. And it really does. It really does mean a lot. So if you could hit the like and subscribe button, people, that would be amazing if you do enjoy the content. So thank you very much. Got some legends on screen. To be fair, Righty and Henry, Bergkamp and Wenger. Again, not real transfer news. We have got some here. Arsenal's expecting to pursue Douglas Luiz as a potential replacement if Jorginho transfers to Flamengo. Now, watch this space with this one with Jorginho. I don't really understand what's going on with it, right? Jorginho, I think personally, is going to be just one that sees out his contract and then leaves. But if he does get a chance to go in January for a little bit of money, yeah, Douglas Luiz would be an upgrade on Jorginho. Like, real talk, Jorginho's come in for 12 million and he's done his job. A lot of people will say, what was the point of that signing? Well, actually, he's done what we bought him for. Squad player, come in, be reliable, play a number of games that are important, score some goals, set up some goals, win some penalties, score some penalties, blah, blah, blah. He's done that, right? He's become a squad player. When Partey's out, he's come in. When Rice is out, he's come in. So actually, for 12 million, he's done his job. But if we're potentially going to be looking at getting Douglas Luiz to replace him, I'm taking him now. Douglas Luiz starts for us right now. Rice in the 6, Douglas Luiz in the 8, and Ødegaard in the 10. That's what happens. Well, to be fair, Luiz and Rice could switch positions, really, or play a double pivot, which is what I keep crying out for with Partey. Douglas Luiz is a quality player, and he's only 26, I think he is. Premier League proven with both City and Villa. I thought City would be all over this one, if I'm honest, because I still feel like they need a midfielder, and there's one literally staring them in the face that they used to bring through their academy. So I'm quite surprised that this is not something that Manchester City are interested in. But I would 100% take him. I would 100% take him. Unless he's become absolutely shocking since he's gone to Juventus, which could have happened, I suppose. But I would take him 100%. This is news here, again from Adam Keys, which says, in the summer, Arsenal tried to sign Benjamin Sesko and Nico Williams. Not adding those attackers left us unbelievably light, and injuries have exposed that even further. Transfer window's open to the 3rd of February. We'll know a lot about Kroenke's ambition by the end of it. Is it the 3rd of February? I thought it was the 1st. Fair enough. Look, that to me is fair, because if we wanted these two players in the summer, we couldn't get them. They've obviously waited until the summer. Now that we've got injuries, we either need to bring other targets in, or we need to bring the summer transfers forward. That's the way I see it. So let's see what happens. Okay. And by the way, Josh is flying in tonight to watch the game with Mikel and to have a chat with him. I mean, it's taken him 22 days to get over here. 22 days to get over here. I mean, what have they been doing? What has he been doing? This should have happened in the Christmas, by the way. Before Christmas, we should have been looking, going, right, who'll be bringing in? It opens in a couple of weeks. Who'll be bringing in? Oh, no, I don't know. Well, we should know, because Saka's just gone down injured. We've got Waneri now who's out. Jesus is out long term. Ben White still isn't back. We haven't heard from Tomiyasu for months. We've got problems here, people. What are we going to do? But nah, they're like 22nd of January. Can you come over, Josh? What for, Mikel? Well, there's a transfer window that's open. Is there? When did that open? 3 weeks ago? Oh, blimey. I better come down and see you then and let me know what you need. Unbelievable. Honestly. Absolutely crazy. Oh, dear me. The next target is Marcus Thuram. He's been identified as Arteta's dream target, and Arsenal could be prepared to bid around 60 for the striker. Isn't it funny that everybody's Arteta's dream signing? Everybody's Arteta's dream target, and they're all £60 million. Whether it's Vlahovic, whether it's Sesko, whether it's Cunha, whether it's Marcus Thuram now. Let's be real. Nobody actually has a clue, do they? Like, nobody actually has a clue. I think the one that we do want is Sesko, but that's only me having a look and saying, where are we? Like, with what's happening. Yeah, Lil Tim says, Dan, I thought Josh was here for the North London derby. Yeah, so did I. Apparently it didn't happen. He's coming over now instead. Ha! Crazy. Excuse me. I've got a bit of a cold and flu, people, so my voice is not good at the moment. My throat. I'm not going to the game tonight. I've let my mum go because I can't make the game. So yeah, last thing I need with a cold like this is to stand outside for ages. So yeah, mum and dad are going tonight. Anyway, Marcus Thuram. I'm going to tell you a story about Marcus Thuram. I think it is Lilian Thuram's son, by the way. I saw him from Borussia Mönchengladbach, and I wanted him at Arsenal. He was a player that knew where the goal was. He was a striker that could play left wing. And if I'm honest with you, I still would take him at Arsenal. I don't think this is potentially something that you look at as, oh my God, this takes us across the line. But he's certainly better than what we've got at the moment. And he's the top scorer in Serie A alongside the the Atlanta striker. I cannot remember his name. Someone will tell me in the chat. I think Marcus Thuram's got about 13 or 14 goals already in Serie A. So look, I'm a fan. There we go. That's his name, Retegui. Yeah, that's his name. That is his name. No, there won't be a watch along today, Wolsey. Won't be a watch along today. I'm going to try and sit in, keep warm and watch it and try and get better for tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So Thuram, second striker, it'll be just a slight improvement on Havertz. Look, the main thing is it's an improvement on Havertz. I'm not saying, by the way, that we need to just bring in anybody that can just be a little bit better, but we've got to that stage now. I want in the summer to bring in our proper number 9. I don't think we're going to do that in January because for whatever reason, we're not linked with them. Sesko. Everybody knows who I want. Alexander Isak. Everybody knows who my next target is. Victor Gyökeres. After that is Victor Osimhen. They're the 3 that I want. After that, well, that's different. Marcus Thuram, Vlahovic, Sesko, Jonathan David, all those names can be thrown at me. Premier League, João Pedro, Duran, Visser. Yeah, they'd all get into Arsenal, but they're not my number 1 targets or priorities. That's what I'm looking at. As for the left winger, it was Kvaratskhelia. After that, it probably would be Lookman, if I'm honest. Then probably Cunha. Then probably Nico Williams. Because I do think Nico Williams got the potential, but he's not been good this season. He really hasn't been. So that's that. The other player that I do think we need to look at is this Igor Jesus. I do not want him, by the way, but we keep being linked with him. What's happening here? I'm not even going to read that out from Ornstein because that's from 2022, talking about Rafinha from Leeds. They're going to try and make out that we want him now. That's just not going to happen. Okay, this is very interesting. Look at the money that's been spent here, right? This is the money spent by big 6 clubs, by top 6 clubs. We'll do the super chats in a minute, people. I haven't forgotten them. Big up. You want to put a super chat in that we'll read out together, go for it. Money spent by the top 6. Most money spent, and this is only since Mikel Arteta has taken charge. In the Premier League, the top 6 from December 2019 to now, in 6th place is Liverpool with 545 million euros, which is around about 470 euros, is it? Something like that. I don't know. Man City, 755 million euros. Arsenal, 792 million euros. Spurs, which is hilarious, by the way, have spent in that time nearly 70 odd million euros more than Arsenal in that period of time. And look at the state of them, where they are. Absolutely embarrassing. And likewise, the 2 banter clubs and the biggest banter clubs other than Spurs are Manchester United and Chelsea, because look at what they've actually spent. A pair of them between them have spent over 2.5 billion, right? And the pair of them are still struggling to get into the Champions League. It is disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Can't believe it. Cannot believe it. Here we go. Let's keep going down. We've spoken about that. This was an hour ago. Forest is set to make a club record transfer fee for Matheus Cunha. They are one of 5 clubs, including Arsenal, Newcastle, Chelsea, and Tottenham, who are rumoured to be interested in the Brazilian. Right, so that's interesting then. That's come from Wolves Fancast. Big up to Little Dan and the boys over there. There we go then. So actually, Nottingham Forest are the ones showing most ambition. That means they've looked at what Wolves want, 60 million-ish. And they've said, we'll pay that. And they've got Hudson-Odoi, Morgan Gibbs-White and Elanga. And they're like, yep, we want Cunha and we want Visser, even though we've got Chris Wood and Taiwo Awoniyi. This is how you do it, man. So look, I don't see him going. Out of them, I think he'd be interested in Arsenal, Chelsea. And I do actually think he'd be interested in Forest. Because you look at what he's done there, Marinakis, and look at the job Nuno's done. Nuno's got the Wolves link, albeit it wasn't at the time that Cunha was there. I wonder if there's a bit of respect there, and Nuno's like, yeah, do you know what? I've got a good relationship with Wolves. I can talk to him, and let's try and get them. They know Cunha's going. Go to a club with a manager that we know and respect. Maybe something could happen there. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Trossard news. It looks like Trossard, by the way, is going to be one of those players that is going to potentially leave in the summer and his kind of job done. He's got to 30 now and believes contract has been rejected. Maybe he's got one big move left at Saudi with him. So I have to watch on Trossard. This come through half hour ago. Breaking news. Benjamin Sesko to Arsenal has potential to happen in this window. Clubs are in direct talks. The player's open to moving to Arsenal. It would cost around 65 million euros. That's come from Con Marble Halls. What I don't like about that sentence is Sesko to Arsenal has potential to happen in this window. That doesn't mean it's going to. That doesn't mean that it is already done deal. The player's open to a move to Arsenal. Well, we knew that anyway. He's not going to be set his heart set as a Slovenian on the German league, is he? He knows Arsenal's a better move for him than Leipzig. So there's no dramas with that. But the player's open to moving to Arsenal. It would cost around 65 million euros. I've got to be honest with you. This one, I don't actually even have my heart set on Sesko. A lot of people have said to me, who do you want? Who do you want? He's not one of the list that I do want. I can't lie to you. He's not one of the ones that I go, yes. He's like 5th on my list. He's behind João Pedro. He's behind Osimhen. He's behind Gyökeres. He's behind Isak. Yeah. He might even be on level playing fields with like Vlahovic, Visa, those kind of names. And he's a hell of a lot of money. The only good thing about Sesko is he's got potential to grow, but I need someone who's ready now. I don't want someone who's going to need a few years to settle in. Is this guy going to get into the first team and score us 15 goals a season to 20 to 25 goals a season? You're obsessed with Gyökeres. Yes, I am. Incognito, I am. That's the one I want. For 84 million, that guarantees us goals. If you line up the stats of Sesko, the stats of Osimhen, the stats of Isak, the stats of Gyökeres, Gyökeres has absolutely smashed everyone in terms of numbers. So that's why I'm obsessed with him. Where else are we? Again, links with Cunha a few hours ago. Firm interest. So this is what I don't get. If we've shown firm interest in Cunha and there's a chance that we can get Sesko, are we looking at one of them or both of them? This is what I still don't get. Do we have a chance of looking at both of them? Because I just got to be real. Like I do believe there's an opportunity for us to get both of them in terms of them wanting to potentially leave their clubs. But are we going to have the ambition to go and get them both? Is that why Mikel Arteta and Josh are meeting? Is he saying, I need both of these players? We have to go and get them. And is Josh saying, well, you can have the money? Or is Josh saying, nah, you've spent too much. We haven't got enough. Because that's what I'm after now. I'm after a little bit of understanding of, where are we at with Josh Kroenke and his support of Mikel Arteta? Because people say that he's given him hell of a lot of money and he has allowed 700 million to be spent. We've just seen that, right? But when we actually do need to get across the line, when times are rough, when it's a bad few weeks, when it's injuries that have not helped, do we have that backing then? That's what's important. That's what's important. Big up to you all, man. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. We've only got over 400 likes. There's 1.4K in the building. So please make sure you do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe buttons. Really important that we do that. Let's get the likes up to 700. I always try and go for 50% if I can. So 700 likes would be brilliant. And we also need to hit the subscribe button because we're getting close now to 40K. So that's what we need to be looking at doing. Let's bring in some super chats, people. This one comes in from Bronbreaker. Time for us to value history and legacy and stability. Value history and legacy, which leads to stability. Well, history is something that unfortunately doesn't seem to be on the players or fans' agenda at times. I do worry about that. I do look at the Arsenal fan base now and think, why are you so obsessed with what we're doing right now and you've forgotten what we used to be when we were at Highbury? That does frustrate me. Cliff says, mate, even if we get Sesko and Cunha, then what? Well, we have to make it work with them too. And if Mikel Arteta can't make it work with new attackers, I don't really know what to tell you guys. Because there's a lot of attackers that he has failed to get the best out of or that he's moved on. He failed to get the best out of Willian and he was moved on. He couldn't get the best out of Pepe and he was moved on. Likewise, Nelson. Likewise, Vieira. Likewise, Smith-Rowe. Likewise, Martinelli. Likewise, Trossard. Sterling. Lacazette. Aubameyang. Eddie Nketiah. The list goes on. There's only really Saka and Odegaard that we can look at truly in that front line and say, do you know what? You've got the best out of him. You could say Trossard, but he's had hot and cold. They can't start games. He has to come off the bench. No one sees him as a starter. That's not getting the best out of someone and making him a massive pivotal part of your squad. So he needs to now do that. And if it's Sesko and Cunha that are coming in, they need to deliver. We can't have two more that are going to come in and be in the mold of Havertz and Jesus. They've got to be there next level for me. That's where I'm at. Cliff says tactics will still be the same. We are sussed. Do you know what? That has definitely happened this season. That's definitely happened this season. It's easy to play against Arsenal. There's a blueprint. All you've got to do is follow Everton and Fulham and go, do you know what? We'll take a point. Now, clubs that want to beat us, that are coming up against us, like Liverpool and Man City, they might find it a little bit tougher. But clubs that are really below or bottom half, they should find it a hell of a lot easier. SJ, or SG, should I say, says, Dad, our boardroom are full of businessmen, not footballing people. Why is Lord Harris of Peckham still at Arsenal? That old fossil needs to retire. Look, I think it needs freshening up. I do. I'm not against footballing men coming into the club that know what it's about, but they have to have winning mentality. Like, what I don't want to do is fill it up with Thomas Rosickis and Per Mertesackers and Lauren Koscielny's and Alex Songs and these sort of guys that won a handful of FA Cups with Arsenal. I want people on this board that knew what it was like. Lauren, Gilberto, Emmanuel Petit, double winners, invincibles, Premier League winners. That's what we need at this club. Yeah, that's what we need. So when Edu come, I was actually okay with it because he knew what it was like to win a Premier League title at Arsenal. Mikel Arteta doesn't. He doesn't know what it was like. He knew what it was like to win silverware. He's done it as a manager, but only the FA Cup. So that's why I do not have anything against them coming in. But if they're not, the board needs to consist of experience and winning experience or successful experience. So if Simon Rolfs at Bayer Leverkusen is interested in the sporting director role, then cool. If Marco Nepe was from the Bayern Munich days, wants to come in, great stuff. If it isn't that, and it's Robert Alabe from Real Sociedad, or perhaps it's Sartori from Bologna, I'm cool with that as well. But they haven't got the winning mentality, but they could have the experience is what's needed. And that's sometimes all you need. You don't have to always have someone that's won at that level. You need to have someone who respects Mikel, but also that Mikel respects, to actually have that conversation and say, look, as your right-hand man, stop. That's not a good idea. And there needs to be that level of respect. And that's why I believe Mikel Arteta has potentially been given way too much control of the club, because I don't think that he needs anybody alongside him, or he believes he needs anybody beside him, because he wants to make these decisions himself. He's decided on Zubimendi already. That's come from Mikel Arteta. The reason I know that is because we don't have a sporting director. So Edu has had nothing to do with Zubimendi. And I imagine Jason Ato probably hasn't either, because Jason Ato has only just walked in the door as an interim. So that's the way it is. That's the way it is. It's frustrating. It is. It's frustrating, I've got to say. That's the way. This is a good question from Wolsey. Potts, who in your current squad do you think will be remembered as a club great or legend? Well, we won't have any of them if they don't win anything. But the one that I would point to would be Bukayo Saka, because he's come through the club. He's Arsenal through and through, and I think he can go to the very top. That's the first one that I look at. But if we do the unthinkable, win a Champions League this season, then they'll all become legends in their own right. But they've got to win something. They've got to win something. There's no players that walk into my 1 to 11 that have not won anything at Arsenal. So when you have debates and say, oh, who's your goalkeeper? David Seaman, Jens Lehmann, even you go back in time to Bob Wilson, Pat Jennings, they all won stuff, yeah? Pat Rice at right back, Lee Dixon, Lauren, all these guys won stuff. Ashley Cole, best left back, Kenny Sansom, likewise. Then you look back and you think Frank McClintock, Tony Adams, Steve Bold, Martin Keown, Sol Campbell, Kolo Toure, they all won. In midfield, Patrick Vieira, Emmanuel Petit, even Cesc Fabregas, Gilberto Silva, Ray Parler, Paul Merson. You look at right wing, you've got Saka that people talk about, needs to win something, because otherwise you look at Lundberg and Sanchez won trophies at Arsenal. You've got Parler, Theo Walcott. They all won stuff at Arsenal. You know, Anders Limpar, Mark Overmars, Robert Pires, Liam Brady, Graham Ricks, Charlie George. Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, Nicolas Anelka, Ian Wright, Carnu, Will Tord, Van Persie, even Aubameyang won FA Cup. Like, we've got to be looking at winners. Right now, this team hasn't got enough winners in it. That's what I think. That's what I think. A good question, Wolsey. Good question, bro. Good question indeed. Look, just to wrap up, what do I think will happen? I think we'll get someone. I think we'll get someone. I don't know who it'll be. If I had to put money on one of the players linked to come in, I'd probably go with Sesko. I don't think we have our hearts set on Cunha. And if there's 5 clubs, when we get into battles, we don't always win when it comes to players that we've not got our heart set on. We saw that with Mudryk. So for me, I think we've got our heart set on Sesko. I think Mikel Arteta wants him. Let's just go and get him. Let's just go and get him. We put down 65 million. They're going to accept that and say, yeah, okay, fair play. The player wants to go. They've got a Pender, Leipzig. They've still got attack midfielders. I think they've still got Jamie Simmons and players like that. It's not like they're going to absolutely mess that up. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. So we're in a position right now where I think we've got a great opportunity. Look, I don't want to say that I'm guaranteeing that's going to happen, but we need someone big time. We need someone big time. We really do. Shaitanya says we need to get someone before the City game. Do you know what we do? And what's mad is Lee Judge has actually made this point. We might even need somebody like Kyle Walker-Peters at this rate, because Timber's going to go down next because he's overplayed. We've got Saliba, who's injured at the moment for 3 weeks. I think he's potentially back for the City game. But we're struggling big time, which is where I wanted to finish on tonight's game. I'm going to be doing a fan cam coming out later, people. This was a good one from Jay Collins. What's your curry order, Dan? Chicken Dan sack? Or I do love a chicken tikka masala, which everyone says, oh, no, that's not hot enough. I like it. Lamb madras is nice, but for me, it's got to be if I had to, it'd be a chicken Dan sack. That's what I would go with. Great question. Love questions like that, man. Love questions like that. Let's go on tonight's team news first of all. Raya in goal. I think right back, unfortunately, will be Thomas Partey again. It will be Timber and Gabriel as centre backs, and left back Lewis Skelly. In midfield, Declan Rice, Mikel Merino, and Martin Odegaard. And then across the front three, I think it will be Havertz through the middle, Trossard on the left, and Martinelli on the right. What would I do personally? Raya would be in goal. My right back would be Timber, and I would bring in Kivior and Gabriel at centre back. If you can't play Kivior against Dynamo Zagreb, he shouldn't be at the club. Left back, Miles Lewis Skelly. Declan Rice and Thomas Partey with Odegaard. And then the front three I would play would be Martinelli right, Sterling left, and Havertz through the middle. I'd bring on Trossard as an impact sub. And then you can do what you want with Marino, Jorginho, Waneri and Calafiori are both back. I expect to see them both in the squad. If you want to do that, cool. That's fine to bring them on and give them some minutes. The subs are a mess. Let's just be real with you guys. It's a mess. The bench is going to be weak again. I don't care what happens after that, but for me, we absolutely have to win this game. It has to be a convincing win for me as well. Yeah, of course you take the 3 points however they come, but it's got to be like a 3-0 tonight, convincingly. As I say, not going to be there at the game. My parents will be going. I don't feel 100%. So I think the worst thing for me to do is go and stand in the cold for the best part of 2 or 3 hours. So I'm going to sit in the warm and watch it. Big up to everybody that's here. This is going to redirect you to the Football Terrace, where Hussam, Mo, and Terry are right now talking all things football. So please make sure you stay tuned. Go and show them some love. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe, and make sure you click on the link right now in the pinned comment section, which will take you to this event, where I hope to see you all on Friday. This is an elite panel, people. It's going to be a great night. So please make sure you are there. Click on the link pinned to this comment section or in the description, and it will take you straight there. So please make sure you do that. Or scan the QR code in the top left, and it will take you straight to the page. It is a ticket-only event, so please make sure you do go. Bring as many people as you want. It'd be great to see as many of you there on Friday night. Until then, take it easy. We'll see you later. Go and spam the chat. Say 12th man raid. Dan Potts sent me. And go and give it to Hassan, Mo and Terry. Love, people. Take care. We're out of here.